Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Happya Life podcast. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. After deciding survival wasn't enough, I set out on a path to live my best life. I wanted to thrive. Now I'm on a mission to support others. Think you're not good enough, confident enough, brave enough? I'm here to tell you you are, and you can achieve anything. This is your time, so let's do this. Hello and welcome back to the Happya Life podcast. I'm Clare Deacon, your trauma-informed therapist, positive psychology coach and founder of Happya. And today we're talking about something I think everyone deserves to hear. Not just healing, not just surviving, but growing. Post-traumatic growth. What is it, how it shows up, and why, even if you don't realize it yet, you might already be living it. This episode is for anyone who's walked through something hard and come out changed. Maybe you wouldn't call it trauma, maybe it was burnout, divorce, grief, redundancy, losing a role that once defined you, or maybe it was trauma with a capital T or a little t, because trauma isn't about the event, it's about what happens in your body, your brain, your beliefs. When something overwhelms your capacity to cope, when your sense of safety, identity, or trust in the world is shaken and nothing feels the same afterwards. And the truth is, trauma changes you. Your nervous system, your view of the world, the way you relate to yourself and others, it shrinks your window of tolerance, makes you hyper alert or completely shut down, pulls you into black and white thinking, all or nothing patterns. It's fear based decisions that you start making, and you start to build your life around avoidance or defense rather than possibility. But here's what we don't talk about enough. Trauma doesn't have to define you, and it certainly doesn't have to be the end of your story. Post-traumatic growth, or PTG, is the process of becoming someone new, not despite what you've lived through, but because of it, not because it was good or needed or deserved, but because you chose to grow in the aftermath. And that choice is one of the most powerful acts of reclaiming your life that you can make. For me, it took the loss of my husband to unlock this truth in me. And I don't say that lightly or with a bow tied around it. I would give anything to have him here, but I also know that I found a strength I didn't know I had. Not just strength as a defense mechanism, how I'd used it in the past. I'd already had that. I had survived many things before. I was strong in the way women often are, out of necessity, out of holding it all together, staying silent, pushing through, putting on the smile when inside you may be screaming. But I'm talking about a different kind of strength, the kind that is rooted in self-worth, the kind that doesn't perform or prove or hustle for approval. The kind that says, I matter, I have a voice, and I get to choose what my life looks like from here. That shift didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen because I followed a 5-step plan. It happened slowly and gently as I rebuilt my nervous system and my sense of self. I stopped asking, how do I get back to who I was? And started asking, who am I becoming? And what do I want to take with me? That's the thing about post traumatic growth. It's not about bouncing back, it's about rising differently. It's not about being grateful for your pain, it's about making meaning from it. Not to justify what happened, but to find power in how you choose to respond. So, how do you know if you're in post traumatic growth? Maybe it looks like noticing that you're more grateful than you used to be, not in a toxic positivity way, but in a grounded, I don't take life for granted way. Maybe you're more willing to say no, more willing to fail, more willing to take up space because you're not living on defense anymore. Maybe you're no longer performing who you think you should be, but choosing who you really are. I see this with clients all the time, women who've come through hard seasons and begin to speak up where they used to shrink, make different choices. They let go of roles that no longer fit, rebuild their relationship with their bodies, or take brave steps towards careers that they actually want, not the ones they were told to chase. And it's not always dramatic, it's often subtle. Your values shift, your relationships can shift, your nervous system can soften, your priorities may change. You feel emotions more deeply, but they no longer overwhelm you. You feel stronger because you've stopped betraying yourself. Now, let's talk about what helps post traumatic growth to happen because not everyone grows from adversity. Some people get stuck in what's known as learned helplessness, where the brain believes nothing will change, so there's no point trying. This often happens when we don't feel supported or when the trauma was ongoing or invalidated. When we stay in survival mode too long, or when shame tells us we should be over it by now, we can find ourselves stuck. So, what is it that helps growth over helplessness? Firstly, support, whether that's therapeutic, coaching, connection. Healing doesn't happen in isolation, it happens in safe relationships. Secondly, nervous system regulation. When your body feels safer, your brain can start to open up and see possibility again. Thirdly, meaning making. Not in a spiritual bypass way, but in a deep reflective way, asking, what did this season teach me about myself? What do I want to carry forward? And what can I leave behind? And finally, self compassion. Knowing that growth isn't linear, it doesn't mean you never struggle. It means you struggle differently with more awareness and less self abandonment. For me, it started with breath, not a morning ritual or a perfect routine, just simple awareness, noticing when my chest tightened and asking, what do I need right now? Not what's wrong with me, not how do I get over this, but how do I support myself through this? It's the breath that grounds me. It's the choice to pause. It's the softening of your jaw, the relaxing of the shoulders, the whisper in my body that says, I am safe. I am here and I can choose what comes next. And if you're not sure where to begin, try this one reflection. Notice one moment this week where you respond differently than the old you would have. Maybe you paused before snapping. Maybe you asked for help. Maybe you rested without guilt. Maybe you said no without justifying it. That's growth. It's quiet but profound, and it builds your next steps. And if you're listening and thinking, this doesn't apply to me, I didn't have trauma, you might still be experiencing change that shifted your identity, and you are still worthy of growth and transformation. Maybe the loss of a role, a shift in a relationship, a health challenge, a move abroad, whatever the trigger, you didn't have to call it trauma for growth to be real. If you're ready to step into not just healing but becoming, please send me a message. Access me through the website. Let me know where you're at, and I'll help you find which next step you're ready for, whether that's coaching, resources, or signposting something gentle to help you expand your capacity. Because you're not broken, you're becoming, and that becoming deserves to be honoured. So, thank you for showing up for yourself, for choosing growth over comfort, for allowing this shift to happen. I'll see you next week, where we'll explore why your nervous system won't let you relax and how to work with it, not against it. Until then, breathe, soften your shoulders, and remember you're not behind, you're becoming. And that in itself is extraordinary. Until next time. If you've enjoyed this episode, ensure you hit subscribe, head on over to my website happiercoach.com, sign up for the weekly newsletter, and let me support you in living a happier life. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. Thank you for listening. Have a fabulous day.